Okay, so I hope this is recording. I'll start from the basic things. So I just put together some things that you would want to know. Okay. First of all, എൻ്റെ ലോജിക് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it involves something known as ഒരു scanner which automatically scans stocks. Okay, so what this done is ഇത് വന്നിട്ട് the entire Indian market it will scan some like around I think 100 or whatever. The number depends on entirely the market day and all of that. So it will scan some stocks which matches a certain condition, and that condition is based on something called as the 52-week high. Then we'll get into it. But what you need to know right now is there is a logic that picks out a certain number of stocks entirely from the NSE website. NSE എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാല് it is called National Stock Exchange. Okay, their website has എല്ലാ സ്റ്റോക്കും എല്ലാ ഇൻഡൈസസിൻ്റെയും data. What is indices? That is also written here. It is a group of stocks used to represent and track the performance of a market or a sector. So essentially, it's a sector. Our sector common stocks, they are grouped together as called as indices. So if you have NSE auto, NSE chemicals, NSE metal, there are different indices. This system works because we are actively looking through multiple indices at a time, so that whenever, even if the market is down, so I showed you that day with like the returns that I made in the last week, or like the potential stocks that were captured in last year and all of that. From last year today to last year, if you were to check, the market has gone down by -1%. And if you're talking from year to date means like from January 1st to now, the Indian market entirely. So that is measured by what? Nifty, right? Nifty has gone down by 6% from January to right now. So the fact that in a market that is going down, you're able to make positive gains, even if it is something stupid as 1%, means that something is working in the system. And the main reason for this is something known as this process indirectly. We are not trying for it, but then this indirectly does something known as sector rotation. Okay, so sector rotation എന്ന് പറയുമ്പം the stupid neighbor. So something known as sector rotation, which means at any given point in time, not every sector will go down unless there is a global crisis. So if some sector is going down, there will always be one sector that is going up. And this particular system indirectly or directly captures whatever sector is going up, and it will give us a recommendation. Okay, we have to be alert and be there in that stock. So sector rotation, I hope you understood, it's just like actively being in multiple sectors, so that when one sector is going down, we'll exit position from there, and when the other sector is going up, we'll buy more there. But we don't have to, intuitively be aware of this, because the system automatically captures whichever is going up, and more often than not, if a sector is going up, that stock will be captured. Okay, so that is why the sectoral rotation alone, it is very rare occasion where like you actually lose money on all your investments. Okay, so going back to the beginning, we have a scanner which automatically scans stocks from the NSE website, and which is passed through an program that I wrote. So this is also a program, this is also a program. This alert essentially works using the logic of an indicator that I built, which automatically runs on all the stock that comes after the scanner. So there's a logic that filters stock. So there will be, let's say, I think around 2,600 stocks are there in the NSE platform. Out of that, in the morning when I run the script, it will come anywhere from, for the last 2-3 days, it has been some 70 to 100 stocks will be there that matches the condition that I use for filtering the stocks. In these stocks, the alert program is run, and exactly the one that gives the buy signal based on the logic, which I still haven't explained, because logic is, I'll explain right after this. It will give 2 to 3 stocks which is in a good buy position as of now. Up until this point, it's entirely automated. Now, here comes the manual intervention where you can decide to buy between these 2 to 3 stocks. So it can be anything like, okay, let's say one stock is 1300, the other is 400, and if it better fits like, okay, your capital is only 1 lakh annual, it makes sense for you to actively buy more quantity of this cheaper stock just so that it is more manageable, or like a large bulk of your capital is not invested in 2 3 quantities. So here you can have your own manual decision as to whether you want to buy any of these stocks, but any of these stocks is a good buy. The whether you want to buy or not entirely depends on the capital that you have, the risk that you're ready to take, and personal preferences. For example, uh, ethical, for example, that company that I said, Cupid, it is entirely a condom manufacturing company, so some people did not invest in that company purely due to their belief and all of that. So that is all your personal thing. So now going into the logic as to why or what it is, what I'm doing is like, you need to know this thing, 52-week high. So 52-week, it's not a random number. 52-week essentially means it's like 1 year in the previous 1 year after the holidays, other than the weekends, after if you cancel out all the holidays, everything around averaging 52 weeks is when 1 year is when it comes to market. Okay. So essentially a 52-week high, let's say this is the price of last 1 year. In this logic, the 52-week high will be here and the 52-week low will be somewhere uh, here. So whatever happens in between, don't be bothered about it. This is the 52-week high. This is the 52-week low. Okay, I'll just like put it here as well. 52-week high. Okay, so this is 52-week high. Uh, this will be 52-week low. Okay, so 52-week low. So you need to know this. Actually, you don't need to know, but then the logic is that the scanner picks stocks which are, so in stock market, unlike trading, we are only looking for buys, right? So we don't really have to worry about 52-week low. This scanner, what it does, the logic that it filters the initial 100 or 200 stocks from that 2600 stock is that it looks for stocks which are within a certain percentage from the 52-week high. I hope that makes sense. Like it should be within a certain percentage. As of now, the program runs with the logic that it will be within 5% of the 52-week high range. So essentially, in basic layman terms, it means whatever the stock may be, the price has to be within the highest it has ever been in the last 1 year. Okay. So I'll show you an example as well. Okay. So if I go pick, let's, for example, I'll pick Mahindra and Mahindra. Okay. Hopefully it comes. Okay. Mahindra and Mahindra. Mahindra and Mahindra, if I were to go here and if I were to take, so today is literally 7 August 2026, right? If I were to go to all the way to last 1 year, okay, I'll go. So we have to go in the daily chart, by the way. So I was earlier in the other chart, that's why I had to go back. So again, I'll do the same thing. If we go from, uh, hold on. So if you look here, I don't know how to cut out the distractions and all. So you'll have to skip and come here. So if you look at here, this is August 10, sorry, August 7. So if I were to go back all the way till last year August, so it will come somewhere exactly here. Okay. So now this is our 52-week period. And if you go here, this is the 52-week high. Within this period, this is the 52-week low. So as of now, the stock will not come into our radar. It will only come when it is what? Within 5% of the 52-week high. So when the moment the stock comes here, this stock will be available in my scanner. So it will automatically recognize, okay, the stock is near the 52-week high by 5%. So that is the logic that it uses to filter the stock. Okay, why it works, I'll tell you. But as of now, it filters the stock and it returns in that initial from 2600 to 100 or 70, something like that, from all the sectors. Okay, so different sectors are there. I'll show you the code as well. From here, so this happens once it gets here. If I remember, I told you like the market moves like this, up and down, up and down. Okay, so this is a downtrend, this is an uptrend, and uptrend is classified by every time a highest point in the market is broken, right? I'm not going to go in detail about the downtrend because we are only looking for buys in the stock market, right? Investments. So what happens is whenever the stock is near the 52-week high range and it passes our scanner and returns, the alert program essentially what it waits for is it has to break an high while being within this range, within this area. So when that happens, it will give you a buy signal here. When this buy happens, it will continue to go up, most likely. If it reverses and comes down and breaks a low, it gives you a exit signal. So you technically have to exit at this point regardless of whatever happens. But most likely either it will rocket to the upside or reverse sharply. But if it rockets to the upside, what happens is you get this multiple entry points, and these multiple entries, buying a stock when it starts going up again and again and again, that thing is called pyramiding. Okay, I spelled it wrong, but essentially it means adding more money to a winning trade as the price continues to move in your favor. So if it is within this range, breaks a high, we get a buy signal. And every time it breaks a high, it gives a new, okay, it doesn't have to give a new buy signal, but if you can pyramid. So that is a personal choice. Maybe you can want to reinvest into this winning stock, then you can do that. Or if you want to buy into a new stock whenever the alert system gives a new thing, you can do that. So by layman's logic, this is the thing. It has to be within the 6% or 5% range of the last 1 year high. And whenever a high is broken, it gives a buy signal. Okay. So now, uh, to tell you the logic in a practical sense, why it works. Okay. So here I told you whenever the market moves, it moves like this. So this is usually we are seeing in the daily time frame. So this daily. Okay. So I'll give you a brief explanation as to why it happens. So let's say the market, we are looking at the long term. I want something when it is within, let's assume this is the 52-week high. When you zoom out and checking, this is the 52-week high. When a stock is within this area, this small, what do you call this? Small area. And since we are zooming out and looking here, there will be a multiple like this, like this, like this, right? Whenever a high is broken within this area is when we get a buy signal. So we are using this logic in a zoomed out way. If we check, if this high gets broken, there is a higher chance whatever goes up will go up like crazy. It will be a quick thing. Large momentum will be there. Because here is the last time the price went the highest. If it breaks the highest point, we don't know where it will stop. So it will have a larger momentum. Or if the opposite happens, it will come down pretty aggressively a little bit, but we would already have exited the moment it goes below this zone. Okay, so this I can show you. Instead of trying to make you understand this, I'll show you examples of this. Okay, let's check at Mahindra and Mahindra. If you go back to, let's say, sometime here, okay, pretend like, so I'll do something like this. When the stock came here, okay, now if you look at it, by visually speaking itself, we can see from, if you consider the last 1 year, the highest point price has been is here. Okay, the highest point the price has been is here. So when it is here, now this will pass our scanner and it will come into our list of stocks. In that, there is an alert program which runs. So the moment, I'll go one by one. So as of now, we have, this is a high over here we have, right? So it is within our area and now we have a high over here. So the moment this happens, let's say we would buy the stock. Okay, let's say we buy what, 50 shares of the stock. Okay, now our SL will be somewhere here or here, depending on our risk appetite. And now we have a buy position. And let's say we continue to hold it. Okay, now as it goes up, our SL is gone higher because we are looking at this lows. This is automatically the program will realize, so you don't have to worry. I'll show you the program as well. So our thing, we are holding on to the stock. Uh, it went up. Okay, somewhere around this portion, we would have gotten our first exit. Okay, so let's say we close this position, or let's say I don't close this position. Let's say we consider this as the low. Okay, by the program will identify this as the low, but then because I know trading, I said this. Okay, it's fine, whatever. Now let's continue to go. Again, it broke. It was almost close to breaking this high. Let's see what it does. Now our SL will be this low, right? Now this is the recent low that we have. Confirm. It continued to go up. Now most probably our SL will be here. It again continued to go up. Now our SL will be here. The program will identify it. So now it got exited. Okay. So technically we bought from here, right? So we bought from here, and until the exit we made around 11%. So in the peak it made 20%, but here it made around 11% it did make in a span of what, 6 months. Okay, we'll be like, okay, only 11%. Technically it made the 11% within the first 3 months, but then this stock did not have the momentum yet. So when the moment it started reversing, we exited here. Now let's see what would have happened if we held on to it. All this time we would be in the same, we'll be stuck in the same range, and now see it started dumping. And now we got exited in the stock. Okay. So now again, the same logic if you were to place. Now this becomes the last 1 year ka high, and it is within this range the price has to get. Okay. So I am gonna speed it up. Nothing happens here. So imagine we exited here, we would have prevented holding all this time. Okay. So now it is coming at August 25. So now it is only gotten here. So in the last 1 year in Mahindra, exactly from here you would have gotten, and here you would have exited. And if you look at your data, you'll see you actually ended up making money. I don't know why this is not showing, but then yeah, essentially you made money in that particular investment. Okay, the same thing I can show you for let's say some other stock. Or we'll pick something like what stock is there? So we'll do Tata something. Tata, or what else is there? Chemical. We'll do National Aluminum. Okay. Okay, this is a perfect example of a big rally being captured. Okay. So I'll do the same thing. I'll go somewhere here because our logic is whenever a stock, so in the last 1 year, if you see visually, also you can see from this point October 2025 to last July or October 2024, this is the highest the price has been. Okay, and we will only identify stocks when it comes near within the 5% or somewhere near. I put 10%, but at least it has to come somewhere near this. Okay, so we will wait. It got here. Okay, it got here, and exactly on this particular day, it broke above a high within this zone. So let's assume I buy what? So one stock is 268. So if I buy 100 stocks, it becomes 26,000. Okay, assume I put 26,000 in this. So I buy 100 shares. Okay, and now let it run. My SL would be somewhere here because this is the last low. This is what my indicator would identify. So now if I continue to play it, a big rally happened. So now after this low is there, and after this is the lowest it is made. Okay, so now I'll just put my SL somewhere here. Now if you look at here, what happens is, as of now, this became the 52-week high, and now within this range it is breaking a high. So this again another entry we will get. So if I just skip one more day, I will get another uh, so actually I forgot to click confirm here. Okay, that's why. So imagine I bought this, I'll buy here again. Okay, confirm, and so yeah, I'll be buying here again because 52-week high, it is within this range and it's breaking a high. So I'll buy, let's say, another 50 more shares I will buy. Okay, and the SL will be somewhere here in the low, and let's see what happens. It did not go up for a long time. Okay, so now in the initial we booked a 9% 9,000 profit through this one, and the second trade we got an SL, so small loss happened. So now again the same logic applies. I'll just show you how much money we could have made from this particular stock. This is all automatically identified. Now our zone becomes, if it gets anywhere this zone and breaks a high. Okay, so what happened? It's already August. Okay, so technically speaking, initially we got, oh, the data got over. Okay, if you go here, I don't know why this is not taking it, but then essentially we would have captured the stock from here and we exited somewhere here. Okay, so that means literally from this portion to this portion we made 64% from 13 November to June. So in a matter of 7 months we made almost 64% in the stock. And even though the exit came where the initial, that 64% was made in a or 70% was made in a span of literally what, November to Jan. That's like 3-4 months. So it's up to you whether you want to exit when this low is broken or when my system tells me to. Okay, so instead of identifying this on your own, I have made an indicator as well that literally prints everything. Okay, so our job entirely is, so we bought somewhere here, right? Exactly. Stocks which are within this area of the last 1 year high will come into the scanner, and only on those stocks, whenever a buy signal is given, we have to buy. So in this stock, if you see here, from here it is bought and it has exactly told us to sell here. We would have made 44% in this investment automated, right? And this would have gone all the way up till 57% in the first 3 months. Okay, so now let's look at something else. Hindustan copper. If you look at here, if you check from this 2026 to this last 1 year period, around this is the highest point it has been. Okay, I'll close this. So exactly we would ignore all of these buys exactly when it comes in that zone and gives a buy signal, you would have bought here, and then you would have gotten your exit at around here, this point. So when you exit, you would have gotten 44%. At its peak, you would have gotten 100% in a span of December to 3 months again. Okay. So this time secondary buy came, we would have taken a loss here. If you look at here, the trades will be something like this. The first investment on September you got 88%. The second investment you got 49% at exit. So this and this. So this is how the system is, the logic of the system is. Okay. So see, and to show you how it works with my thing, uh, I have built a code which has all the files, and this is the one with the scanner. So this automatically takes out all the stocks that are within the 5% range of all the sectors: mid cap 100, small cap 250, pharma, auto, metal, chemicals, all these things they will automatically pick, and it will convert it into a CSV file like this. So the CSV file will look something like, these are all the stocks that is there that we are potentially want to buy, and this is run through an alerts thing which automatically, what I showed you in that thing, the chart, the green arrow, that logic is applied using this code, and it will convert and give you a message that looks something like this. So this was given to me on Friday saying, okay, Naveen, Fluoride, and Oro Pharma, and Bharat Forge. So if you come here manually, if you were to do that, if you look at Bharat Forge, if you look at it, because it is at a all-time high already, our initial investment we would have gotten from here. So around this area, when it bought here, Bharat Forge would have already given us at the moment at 16% increase in 5/29 April to this one. But already because it broke above the high, it's already at the highest point it has been. So now we have gotten another buy indication here. So this will be a good area to buy Bharat Forge. And this red line is the SL. If the price comes back and hits here, it will automatically tell you to exit. I'll show you an example. Like here, the moment it crossed this red line, it gave an exit, but when it again went above the green line, it told you buy. So you would have prevented loss here, and then this buy would have given you another 26%. But you can only buy when it is at the 5% range of the last 1 year high. So we technically wouldn't buy this. Okay, so I'll show you this thing working in action. So it has told me to buy these stocks, right? So I'll just remove these stocks from the list that is already there. So these are all the stocks that has previously told me to buy. Now I'll run my main program. So that will be like, and now what happens is it runs the scanner, and now it has given 73 stocks. So as of Friday's data, Friday closing data, there are 73 stocks within all the sectors which are between the 5% range of the 52-week high. So last 1 year ka high price. And now it's running alerts, that indicator logic on all these stocks, and in all these stocks it will run, and it will give you, I'll show you, it will take a little bit, it will take a minute, but once it runs I'll kind of tell you okay what is. So these are all the stocks. It has scanned all the stocks, JSW Steel, and the notification sound that you heard right now, it's a message that came on my phone about this thing. Okay, and that message that got sent will look something like this. So now the stocks have changed, right? Because the Friday, because we have a new stock now called PT Cylinder or whatever that is. PT so PTC Industries. So now if you look at here, if I remove this indicator, you can see the logic in the last 1 year. Visually you can see this is the highest the price has been, and if you go here, it is within that 5% zone, 6%, 5%, it's almost same. And in this zone you have gotten a high break which can be identified using this indicator. Okay, this high is broken, so now it will be a good time to buy. At the worst case, if it goes down, you lose 9%, but if it continues like earlier other stocks, minimum it should do 30 to 100% somewhere, something like that. How much it will go up, we don't know. But if it goes up, we'll capture it. If it starts reversing, we'll exit somewhere here. So if your that message is there on my phone, I can show you the message. But then that content of the message, it will be like this. So previously, the stocks that are given by Motherson, we got a buy on 4th August. It is already up by 9.6%. Punjab National, we got a thing on 8th August. Today is 9 August. We got like what, 0.8386. Tata Tech, we got on 8th August. It is already up by 8.86. AU Bank is at a loss, minus 1.86. Aegis Logistics, this one I did not buy because I knew not to. But some stocks will go down, that's fine. But then the stocks that will go up, it will go up like crazy. So if you look at Motherson, I have told people to buy quite a lot because it passed through all of this. See, it went up in one day here, it went up by 8%. You can see over here. And 2 to 3 days before that, my system gave a buy. It gave a buy multiple times. If you look at the investments, those buys are running at 23 and 11% as of now. So May 21 and June 29, it has given buy. So yeah, this is the system. So when I run it automatically, if I'll show you the message on this thing. If I open my Telegram. So this is what the message will look like, and I don't know if you can see. So it gave that message on my phone. All I do is I'll go check this thing manually, these three stocks. If I really like what it is doing, then I will just like click buy. So as you can see, Tata Tech again. Tata Technologies. Look at this. Before it went up like this, it already gave a buy here. This buy we would not be interested, but this was here in the last 1 year highest point within 4 to 5%. And when it got here, the moment it started going up, look at the momentum. It will at least minimum go without, like short term itself, it will go 41%. I don't know the time period, it might take longer, shorter, but then whatever happens, if it does not happen and it starts reversing, automatically we'll get an exit symbol like this red. So we'll exit over here. So that is the whole thing. I could go in depth as to why it works, what is the certain things, why the 5%, where did I get the data, all of this. But then that depending on what doubts you have. Because if I start this, then it'll become a 2-hour video. It's already 32 minutes. I could have made it shorter, but this is all that there is. 52-week high, 52-week low within 5% if it gets here, and my indicator, that is this thing, prints a buy signal. I converted this code into Python and it will automatically give me a message on my Telegram. When it runs, I only come and go buy this. I'll buy this in front page for demo portfolio, that is up by 15,000. I put 5 lakh within the first week itself, it's up by 2.3, which is 15,000. And you can buy real stocks or whatever in your grows or other whatever that you have. And how you can start using this is, instead of worrying about all of this, I will send whatever message I get every day in the morning to you, and it is up to you to decide out of the stocks that is there. Each of them it is good to buy, but depending on your capital and your personal interest and your intuition, you can buy any or all. The condition is you have to buy it equal. So for example, let's say you got the PTC industry or Tata Industries, let's say you got here in 793 assume. So you have to make sure, let's say you have 10 lakh capital, you have to pick a number. So for example, let's say it can be either be 25k or like 50k or something. Let's assume you pick 25k. So no matter what happens, every investment should go equally. Every stock should be bought for 25k. So you're like, okay, how many quantity do I buy? So if you're buying Tata Technologies yesterday at 793, you have to divide 25,000 divided by 793, and whatever that amount comes, round it to the nearest whole number. So that will be like 25 divided by 793, so 31.5. So you would have bought around 32 quantities of that stock yesterday morning Obviously, this number changes according to how much capital you have, how much you're putting per stock. The goal is whatever capital you have, if it's like decent enough, like let's say 10K will be too small, but let's assume you're starting out just by one quantity if you have 10K. Let's assume you have like 50K or something. If it's 50K divided by 10, and that is the amount you should put in each stock. So at least you can buy 10 different stocks. If you have 1 lakh, at least divided by 20 so that you can buy 20 stocks at least, and each stock should get whatever that amount comes. Makes sense. So that is how you do this. If you have any doubts or anything, just like text me. So yeah, the system has captured pretty decent stuff already. Like there is this other friend of mine who's also, yeah, he is like he's literally gone crazy. He's like gotta make capital now. I put this up. See, 8%, 1%. This is within 1 day. Okay. And then if you read this, I think I already sent this to you, so you can go through that. So the Tata Tech, I'll show you the message that it came. See, Tata Tech, Thursday it came. Friday only it made what? Friday only it made 8.5%. So check it out. Let me know. I'll send you the messages from every day when you're ready to do it.